What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix and welcome to my level 1 to 99 farming guide. In this video, I'll show the low-level methods, tree farming, herb farming, and more. Towards the end, I'll show some Ironman farming tips as well. So why should you train your farming? Farming is a unique 99 that can be trained almost passively. You can spend a few minutes each day doing a farm run for a lot of farming experience. So farming is great for those that want to get a 99 but can't play for long each day. Farming can be highly profitable. For example, at level 90 farming, a complete herb run of Ranars will net an average of 300k in profit. Even at lower levels, herb runs still make good money. As an Ironman, farming is an essential skill, where herb farming is a main source of herbs for herb lore. A number of quests in Old School have a farming level requirement. Some of the quests, like Song of the Elves, are vital in progressing your account. You need level 70 farming for the quest cape, and you need level 91 farming for the achievement diary cape. There's also the farming pet, the Tangle Root, which has a tiny chance of appearing every time you check the health of a patch. The Tangle Root has 5 transmogs, which are activated by using certain seeds on the pet. Before I continue, I've seen that some people are constantly getting caught squirking, even on mass worlds. Well, there's rumors saying that a VPN can fix it. The best VPN for it is NordVPN, since they have average download speeds of over 400 megabits per second in the United States, which makes them the fastest VPN on the planet. But Nord is more than just a VPN. They've recently added a threat protection feature to shield you from malware and trackers. And they have password security tools and cloud solutions. What really sets Nord apart is their commitment to privacy. They have a strict no logs policy, meaning they don't track your online activity. With Nord, you can unlock region-locked online content, you can high-risk PvP without worrying about DDoS attacks, and you can keep your personal information safe from hackers. It's user-friendly and you can use it on multiple devices, so you're protected wherever you go. So if you're serious about your online security and want to enjoy the internet without limits, give NordVPN a try. Click the link in the description or go to nordvpn.com/Theoatrix OSRS. With my link, you get 4 months free on a 2-year plan, plus a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to Nord for sponsoring this video. This is a rundown of how farming works. In Old School, farming is generally trained by planting and harvesting crops. Across the Runescape map, there are over 60 farming patches where you can plant seeds. Each crop has its own growth time, ranging from 20 minutes to 107 hours. Trees tend to have the longest growth times, while flowers are the fastest. In Old School, crops have a number of growth phases. In each growth phase, the crop has a chance of becoming diseased, and if it's not cured by the next growth phase, the crop dies. Using compost reduces the chance of your crops becoming diseased. The chance of disease is halved each growth phase when using regular compost, 1/5 for super and 1/10 for ultra. With some patches, you can pay the gardener to protect your patch from disease, which guarantees that your patch grows. Once your patch is fully grown, you can harvest it for experience and produce. With tree patches, you gain thousands of experience when you harvest a patch. For patches that yield produce, they start with a set number of harvest lives. For example, herb patches start with 3 harvest lives. Then for every pick or harvest, there's a chance that the life goes down by 1. Once it hits 0, the patch becomes cleared. The chance that the harvest life goes down is dependent on your farming level, secateurs, the Addis plant, and achievement diaries. Using compost on a patch increases the number of harvest lives your patch has. With herb patches, regular compost gives you 4 harvest lives, super gives 5, and ultra gives 6. So this means the minimum number of herbs you can get from a herb patch with ultra compost is 6. Farming experience in Old School is mostly gained by doing farm runs. These involve running to various farming patches, planting and harvesting crops periodically every time your patches are complete. There are other ways to train your farming, which I will show in this guide, although crop farming is the most common, particularly farming trees and herbs. On your journey to 99 farming, this is what your pathway will look like. From level 1, it's slow to train farming by harvesting crops. So there are 3 low-level farming methods that I'll show. The early goal with farming is to start doing tree runs, which you can start at level 15. Trees take multiple hours to grow and give thousands of experience, making them the most efficient method through to 99. Along the way, herb runs can be done for profit and experience, along with seaweed and allotment runs. Also, there's the Tithe Farm, which has a range of useful unlocks. Now let's cover the low-level training methods. There's 3 methods that I'll show: questing, Hosidius Favour, and bagged plants. Questing is a great way to skip the early farming levels. If you complete the Fairy Tale Part 1 quest, you get from level 1 to 17 farming, and it has low requirements. Level 17 farming is enough to start tree farming, but if you're into questing, you can complete these quests to reach level 38 from level 1. You should at least do the Garden of Death, which is an easy quest giving 10,000 farming XP. While getting Hosidius Favour, you can train your early farming levels very quickly. You firstly need to plough the field to reach 5% favour. Then you combine saltpeter and compost to make fertilizer, all the way to 100%, which gives farming experience. You need 950 fertilizer to reach 100% favor, and doing that will get you from level 1 to 13 farming. To get to level 15 farming for oak trees, you can use a garden pie to boost while you're planting the patch. These are available on the Grand Exchange and are useful at all farming levels to plant things that you normally couldn't. Low-level farmers can also train with bagged plants. To do this, you need a house, filled watering cans, and bagged plant ones. Then, in building mode, you repeatedly plant and remove the regular plant in your portal room. You need 78 bagged plants to get from level 1 to 15 farming, and these can be purchased from the Grand Exchange, but I'd suggest buying them from the Gardener in Falador or the Farming Guild for a lower cost. For an in-depth guide on this training method, I made a video a few years back, which is linked in the description. Now let's talk about tree farming. I'm going to start off with the basics and important unlocks, then I'll show your pathways to 99, and lastly, I'll show 3 full tree runs that you can follow. I'll be showing a low-level tree run for those first timers, then I'll show a tree-only run, and lastly, a complete tree run with regular fruit and special trees. Tree running is the most efficient farming method in the game. If you spend 10 minutes doing a tree run and get 100,000 experience, you're effectively getting 600k XP per hour. So tree farming is very quick for the amount of time that you put in. As you level up, you unlock different types of trees to plant. At 27, you can start planting fruit trees. Then at level 35, you can plant hardwood trees. At levels above 72, you unlock a range of other trees. There are 24 tree patches across Runescape. 6 are regular trees, 6 are fruit, 5 are spirit, which you won't use with farming training, 3 are hardwood, and there's 1 Calquat, Celestris, Crystal, and Redwood patch. Regular tree patches take up to 8 hours to grow, meaning you could do at least 2 tree runs per day. Oak trees take around 3 hours to grow, which means you could do a few more runs per day. All fruit trees take 16 hours to grow, so you could do a fruit tree once per day. The other tree patches have varying growth times. Some can be done daily, and redwood trees take 4.5 days to grow. An example tree run plan would be to do a complete tree run every morning with every type of tree available, then a regular tree-only run at night. With some of the tree patches, there are requirements to use them. Low-leveled players should aim to complete Bon Voyage to let you plant hardwood trees. The Farming Guild has a range of tree patches, and you should get 60% Hosidius Favour to go there. But do keep in mind that there are farming level requirements for each tier of the Farming Guild. When you're doing tree runs, there's some other useful unlocks you should aim to be using. Scrolls of Redirection will speed up your tree runs, and these can be purchased from the Nightmare Zone. They let you teleport to house portals that your house is not located at, and some are close to tree patches. Completing the Taibo One-Eye Trio quest allows you to use the Taibo One-Eye Teleport Scroll. If you aren't paying the gardeners for protection, you should invest in a bottomless compost bucket. You can store 10,000 of any compost, and when you add compost to it, it automatically doubles the amount added. Now I'm going to show you two pathways to 99 doing tree runs. The first pathway is the fastest, taking around 70 days for 99, and I'll show a low cost pathway taking 200 days but only costing 10 mil. On the fastest pathway, you'll be farming the highest level trees you can, doing 2 runs per day. So you'll work your way up to magic trees for regular trees, dragon fruit trees for fruit trees, mahoganies for hardwood trees, while doing calquat, crystal, celastrus, and redwood as they become available. If you want the fastest 99, you'll need to pay the gardeners for protection for every patch, even if it's expensive. So doing 2 runs per day of the highest level trees possible will get you to 99 farming in only 70 days, but at a cost of around 120 mil. On the cheap pathway, you'll plant trees up until willows and fruit trees up to papaya. To save money, you can compost your patches instead of paying for protection. Composting reduces the chance of disease, and you should always use ultra compost if you're not paying for protection. Doing 1 tree run per day gets you 99 in 200 days. You could also add a 2nd or 3rd tree run of willows each day to speed up your training. Now let's get into the farm runs. I'll start with some key details, then I'll show 3 full tree runs that you can follow. This will be your inventory setup. You'll need a spade and a rake if it's your first time. You'll need coins as well as teleports to all of the patches. You'll also need saplings, which you can buy straight off the Grand Exchange, and for longer tree runs, you might need to bank to grab more saplings. You'll also need items to pay the gardener for protection, which can be noted. To see what items are needed for protection, you can go to the farming skill menu and find the tree that you're planting. This is what you should do at every tree patch. You firstly check your previous tree's health for the big XP drop. Then if it's a fruit or special tree, you can pick the produce off it for some extra XP. Once you're done, you can go to the nearby gardener and right-click to select pay, and the gardener will chop down your tree and clear the patch for you. Then you use your sapling on the patch, and then pay the gardener the protection fee, or if you aren't paying for protection, you should use ultra compost on the patch. Now I'm going to show you 3 complete tree runs. I'll start with a low-level tree run, then a regular tree run, then a complete tree run. So the first run is the low-level tree run, and this is for first timers doing oak trees. This is all of the tree patches for low-level accounts, and easy teleports to get to each of them. Pause if you want to read through it, or you can screenshot this screen for later reference. Your inventory should include the items I mentioned earlier, but for this run, you'll need 4 oak saplings plus 4 baskets of 5 tomatoes to pay for protection. Also for your run, you'll need a Lumbridge, Varrock, and a Falador teleport. So now I'll take you with me on a full low-level run. Starting out, I teleport to Lumbridge using the Lumbridge teleport tablet, and then I run west out the back of the castle. Then the tree patch is slightly to the north, so I start out raking the patch to clear the weeds, and then once clear, I use the oak sapling on the empty patch to plant it. Then right-click the nearby gardener and select pay and confirm the payment for protection of the patch. Then I use the Varrock teleport tablet and run north then northeast to the tree patch. Here you do the same routine as before. You rake the patch, then plant the sapling, and lastly pay the gardener. Then I teleport to Falador and run to the Falador Park tree patch. Here I rake, plant, and pay the gardener, and then I head towards Tavali. So run northwest out of Falador Park and follow the wall until you reach the gate. Once you enter Tavali, head south towards the tree patch. Then you rake, plant, then pay the gardener. That's the full low-level run. But on your next runs, instead of raking the patch, you'll check the tree's health and pay the gardener to chop it down. The next run I'm going to go through is the regular trees run. This should be done once a day at the opposite time of day that you do your complete tree run, which I'll show next. This is all of the regular tree patches and the order that I'm going to harvest them in, and next to it are the best teleports to get to each patch. The teleports go from fastest on the left to slower on the right. Pause if you want to read through all of this, or you can screenshot and save it for later. Now I'll take you on the full regular tree run. Starting out, I teleport to Lumbridge using a Lumbridge teleport tablet. Then I run west out of the castle and then north to the tree patch. At the patch, I click the tree to check its health, I pay the nearby gardener to chop it down, then I plant a new sapling and pay the gardener for protection. Next, I teleport to Falador and run east to the park tree patch. Here, I check the health, pay the gardener, plant a new sapling, then pay for protection. Then I teleport to Tavali using a scroll of redirection and run southeast to the tree patch. I follow the same routine here, and then next I teleport to Varrock with a Varrock teleport tablet. I run northeast into the castle to the tree patch, and once I'm done with everything here, I run west, then north to the Grand Exchange Spirit Tree. I take the Spirit Tree to Gnome Stronghold and run southwest to the tree patch. I check the health and follow the routine. Then to get to the final tree patch, I use a Skills Necklace teleport to the Farming Guild. I run into the western wing of the Farming Guild to the tree patch, where I follow the routine again. And that's the end of the tree run, but optionally, you can kill Hespori while you're at the Farming Guild. The final run I'm going to show you is a complete tree run, with regular trees, fruit trees, and special trees. This is the run overview, with the patch locations and the best teleports to each patch. The teleports are in order from the fastest on the left to the slowest on the right. This is a lot of information to take in, so you can pause the video or take a screenshot for later reference. Now I'll take you on the complete tree run. Starting off, I use a teleport to Lumbridge and run west out of the castle to the tree patch. Here, I follow the patch routine I mentioned earlier, and when I'm done, I teleport to Falador Park with a Ring of Wealth, which takes me right next to the patch. I follow the routine, then use a Tavali redirected house tablet and follow the path to the east. Then I teleport to Catherby with a Catherby teleport and run east all the way to the first fruit tree patch of the run. I choose to pick the dragon fruit off the tree since they're worth quite a decent amount. When I finish the routine, I teleport to the Brimhaven house portal with a redirected tablet and I tend to the fruit tree patch there. Then I use a Varrock teleport and run north and northeast to the regular tree patch and follow the routine. Then I run to the Grand Exchange Spirit Tree to the northwest and travel with it to Gnome Stronghold. I run southwest to the tree patch and follow the routine, then run northeast to the fruit tree patch north of the agility course. Then I run back to the spirit tree and travel with it to Tree Gnome Village. I run west and squeeze through the gate, then follow Elkoi out of the maze to the fruit tree patch. Here I tend to the patch, then teleport to Fossil Island using a dig site pendant, and I use the magic mush tree to the mushroom meadow. I then run southeast to the hardwood trees and tend to all three patches, paying each of the squirrels for protection. Once I'm done, I teleport to Liletia using a teleport crystal and run southeast to the fruit tree patch. Once I'm done here, I run to the nearby bank to get more saplings and protection payment items to continue my run. Then I teleport to Tybwo One Eye with a teleport scroll and run north to the Calquat patch. Then I teleport to Prifdinus with a teleport crystal and run northeast to the crystal tree patch. And the final teleport for the run is with a skills necklace to the farming guild. In the farming guild, I firstly run west to the regular tree patch. Then once I'm done, I run to the northern section and harvest the fruit tree patch, then I go to the Celestris patch, and then the redwood patch. That's all of the trees to harvest, but you can defeat Hespori while you're at the farming guild. So you can go to the bank and gear up, and then head into tier 2 of the farming guild to defeat Hespori. So that's the complete tree run. If you'd like to learn more about tree runs, you should check out my tree farming video linked in the description. It takes you through everything you need to know with more in-depth info. Now let's talk about herb farming. Herbs take 80 minutes to grow, and herb runs can be done in conjunction with allotments like snape grass for extra experience. There's a total of 9 herb patches across Runescape, and 5 of those patches have requirements to use. 3 patches are locked behind a quest, and low-level players can easily do Priest in Peril, or mid-level players can do the Arm quests for the extra patches. 1 patch is in the Tier 2 section of the Farming Guild, and the final unlock is with the Elite Mauritania Diary. For herb runs, there's a range of recommended unlocks on the screen now. Disease-free patches greatly increase the overall profit of herb runs. If you can, the Kurend and Kandarin Diary increases your yield, increasing your profit and experience. The Explorer's Ring and the Arty Cloak 2 are almost essential for herb runs, with teleports very close to patches. The Ectophile from Ghosts Ahoy is another useful unlock. You should always be using Ultra Compost on herb runs. This guarantees that you get at least 6 herbs per patch. You can buy Ultra Compost off the Grand Exchange, but if you're an Ironman, you can make Super Compost and add Volcanic Ash. The best herb to plant varies depending on your level and unlocks. Ranars provide the most profit since the herbs cost the most, although Ranars are only the most profitable when using disease-free patches or the diary boosts. When you unlock Ranars at 32, they still are your most profitable option, but at level 38, Toadflaxes are more profitable than Ranars. At level 50, Avantos become more profitable, but if you use disease-free patches and diary boosts, then Ranars surpass Avantos at level 80. At 85, you can plant Torstols for the best XP and decent profit, but not as much profit as the other herbs I've mentioned. Keep in mind, for herb runs, you can use a Garden Pie to boost to herbs you haven't unlocked yet, so you could start farming Ranars at level 29. Now I'm going to take you on a complete herb run. This is what your inventory should look like. You'll need a seed dibber and a spade, as well as a rake if it's your first run. You'll need the herb seeds that you'll want to plant, and you'll need teleports to all of the patches, which I'll show in a moment. You'll need Ultra Compost, which you can buy off the Grand Exchange, and then you can store Ultra Compost at a Tool Leprechaun, which makes it a lot easier to manage your patches. You should also be wearing your magic secateurs from the Fairy Tale quest, as well as the full farming outfit if you have it. This is all of the herb patches and the best teleports to get to each of them. Pause if you want to read through it, or you can screenshot and save it for later use. At each patch, this should be your routine. If it's your first time at the patch, you'll need to rake it to clear the weeds. If your patch is fully grown, you firstly click on the herb patch to start yielding herbs. If you spam click the herb patch for 3 seconds, it doubles the rate at which you pick herbs. When your inventory is full, or once the patch is cleared, you can use the herbs on the Tool Leprechaun to automatically note them. While you're at the Tool Leprechaun, you can withdraw 1 Ultra Compost from storage. Then, with a clear patch, you can then plant the seed by using it on the patch. You should then use Ultra Compost on it, and then you can teleport to the next location. Now I'm going to take you along with me on a full herb run. Starting off, I teleport to Catherby using the Catherby teleport tablet, and I run northeast to the herb patch. At the herb patch, I follow the routine I just talked about. I yield the herbs, then note them, grab an Ultra Compost, plant a new seed, and Ultra Compost the patch. Then I teleport to the Arty herb patch with the Arty cape. I do the same routine and then teleport to the cabbage patch with the Explorer's Ring. I run north out of the cabbage area to the herb patch. Once I'm done here, I teleport to Xeric's Glade with the Xeric's Talisman and then run southwest. After I finished at this patch, I used the Ectophile to teleport to the Ectofuntus and then run west to the herb patch. I follow the same routine, then I use a skills necklace to teleport to the Farming Guild. Inside, I go to the western wing to the herb patch. Once done, I use Stony Basalt to troll Stronghold and harvest the patch up there. Then I use Icy Basalt to teleport to Weiss. And lastly, I use a Harmony Island teleport tablet and run south to the final patch. The Leprechaun is inside this fenced area here. So that's the complete herb run. If you want to learn more about herb farming, I have a complete herb farming guide linked in the description. Now I'm going to give an overview of the Tithe Farm minigame. It's located in the southeastern corner of Zaya and requires 100% Hosidius Favour plus 34 farming. There's 3 seeds that you can plant, ranging from level 34 to 74 farming. The XP rates vary from 28k to 110k farming XP per hour, depending on the seed. Most players only go to the Tithe Farm for the rewards. For 250 points, you can get the herb sack, useful for slayer and hunting herbivores. You can also get the seed box for 250 points. Or you can get the full farmer's outfit, which gives a farming XP boost when worn. For the Tithe Farm, it's recommended to have the full graceful outfit, and the humidify spell is also recommended from the Lunar spellbook. In the farm, the idea is to grow plants without letting any die, which happens when the plants aren't watered fast enough. The basic strategy is to plant seeds in the formation shown on the screen. You should aim to have 20 plants at once, although 16 is still viable for those that aren't focusing as much. You initially plant and water the seed in each patch, following the zigzag pattern. Then after you reach the end, you loop back and water the plants again, continuing until they're ready to harvest. It is possible to do 25 patches at once, and I'll be showing that method in my upcoming Tithe Farm guide. Overall, the Tithe Farm can supplement tree and herb runs as an additional source of farming XP. If you want to get 99 as fast as possible, tree runs mixed with the Tithe Farm is the fastest option. Now I'm going to cover some Ironman farming tips. Overall, Ironmen can follow the same methods that I've shown in this video, except Ironmen need to gather their own seeds. Pickpocketing master farmers is a decent source of seeds except for tree seeds. Birds' nests from woodcutting and birdhouse runs give tree seeds, and on some slayer tasks you'll receive a lot of seed drops, like on an aberrant spectre task. The most consistent source of tree seeds for Ironmen come from farming contracts in the farming guild. Also, the winter Todd can give some seeds, but not very often. As an Ironman, it is recommended to do the Tithe Farm minigame for the rewards. You can get the seed box and the herb sack, which are both very handy to have. Ironmen should add allotments to their herb runs to make prayer potions and super compost. Allotment patches are usually close by to herb patches. Ironmen should also farm giant seaweed for crafting XP. If you want to see a complete Ironman farming guide, let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, that's my complete 1 to 99 farming guide for old school. If you want to revisit any part of the guide, check out the timestamps linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more old school content. Be sure to check out NordVPN and use my link in the description to get 4 months free on a 2-year plan. Thanks for watching.